What I mean by a book template. This is something that you can make yourself quite easily by simply opening up Microsoft Word, going to the File menu, clicking on that, click on New Document, and it's going to be kind of a blank document like this, and pretend like this is your book. This is going to be your actual book that you are going to upload to Amazon's Kindle or lulu.com to print your book. So the first page of your book is what? Your title page. So whatever the title of your book is. Now, I just used my focus person. I write a book about one person and then again their parents, the slave owner, and some other things. But I start off that way. You can have whatever the name is. Let's make it a little bit bigger so you can see this. All right. You can have a picture here, an image here, and at the bottom you can put your name because you are the author. The next page, we're not going to just keep hitting the return key. No. We're going to go to the insert menu up here. We're going to go to where it says pages, and we're going to click page break. This is super important. A page break is going to give you a new page down here. It's going to start at the top of the page. Okay, that's how we're going to proceed for the rest of this. Now, I already have a little template that I worked up, but you can do the same thing yourself. And then they have freebies. You can Google Microsoft Word book template, and they'll give you some free examples if you don't want to do your own. But here's my cover page, right? Ella, I put in a little picture, I put my name, I put an insert page break to come down to this next page. I have another page break down here. A copyright page is pretty standard in books right up front. Here's some sample verbiage. Look at your books to see what the normal verbiage is for your books. All rights reserved, no part, etc. I'm going to put the normal items that are on a copyright page right here in my brand new book manuscript. It's a manuscript. And anyway, I'm going to hit an insert page break, go to the next page, insert page break, and then dedicated to. I dedicate this to my family who's been so helpful to me. Insert page break again. And then, you could put an image or a poem or whatever you would like on this even covered, even numbered page. Then we have a table of contents. Type table of contents on this page. And there is a way to kind of have it automatically generate that, which we will get into at a later time. And then, how to periodically refresh the table of contents as you're adding more pages. Insert page break, a foreword. If you have an expert that has written something about you or your topic and you want to put it in your book, this is done most often for nonfiction books, if it's a researchy type of books, but you don't need to have a foreword. Insert page break. Acknowledgements page. I want to thank all the people who have helped me make this book possible. Insert page break. The next page could be an introduction. What is your book about? Just really, really briefly, what is your book about? Insert page break. You could have a timeline. You could have a family tree. And then we get to Chapter 1. But label it. What is your Chapter 1 going to be? In my case, I always look at the person I'm writing the book about, and I introduce them. I give the reader an opportunity to understand why that person is so important that I want to write a book about the person. Again, at the end of that chapter, insert a page break. Go to Chapter 2. I might call that the mother. So whoever the mother of the focus person is, and I'm going to write about the mother. I'm going to put all the questions I have about the mother. Who is she? Where was she born? Who were her parents? I'm going to type those questions right here. And as I answer them, I'm going to answer them right there in the chapter that I have labeled mother. If I have already gathered birth certificates, I'm going to go to the folder where the birth certificate is. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it right into the chapter so that I can start writing sentences about that data in the chapter where it belongs. So Chapter 2 might be for the mother. Insert page break when you're done with that chapter. Chapter 3 might be the father. Again, write your questions, write your answers, insert any documents you've already collected about the dad. This is how you're going to grow your book fast, big. This is a draft. It's an initial draft. It's not perfect. It's not English grammar. It's not that. I'm trying to get you to get a structure together, a book template together. Chapter 4 might be the enslaver. Who's the enslaver? Put all the questions. Who is the enslaver? Where does he or she live? Blah, blah, blah. All that information that you have found. And then chapter 5, I always put the descendants of my focus person up to the present day. Why? So that I can have chapter 6 be all about DNA. Maybe I can find blood relatives who, and you got to be living to take a test. That's why I always have a family tree that comes all the way to the descendants, all the way back, an unbroken family tree or lineage, if I can do that. That's the whole plan. That's why we start with ourselves for this family tree. And then we see if there's anyone that's blood relative who has more information already on the family. Okay, so that's how you can do that, how you can start filling out your book quickly today using what you've already collected or put in the questions that you need to have answered. That's what this book template does. It's an outline for your book, and everything about your book has to be in here. All pictures that you want to use, all documents that you want to use. If you're going to do, and hopefully you'll have citations because it's a genealogy book, and we want to prove that we're not just making this stuff up. The last chapter is generally called an epilogue or a conclusion, where you wrap it up however you wish to do that. You might choose to have appendices. I usually do. You might have some charts and graphs and maybe some census reports or an analysis, community analysis, something like that. You might want to do that in your appendices. You're likely going to have a bibliography. What books did you look at? What sources did you review to come up with your answers? And you're going to want to have an author page. This author page could be the very last page in your book. A lot of folks do it that way. You can change these pages around however you want. There is no one right way to do things. There are many right ways to do things. And then endnotes. So instead of footnotes at the bottom of every page, you can do that, but that kind of disrupts the reader from understanding. You can do endnotes. Okay, and then so that's what I mean by a book template. Then you go over to earlier than this, you go to the File menu and you click Save As, and you give it a name. I've just put it in here, Elroy 2, okay, whatever you want to call it. You come down here and click, well, where do you want to store this? This is your book. This is your actual book manuscript. I'm going to hit Save, and it went right up here and saved it on my desktop so I can achieve it. That's the book template. That's what I mean. If you start it today with what you already know, you can have today 25 pages done. What? You can have 25 pages done. So give it a try. It really, really, really can work.